Wait a minute, I understand. Yeah. They have a car right there. Gotcha. I know what you're talking about. I go to either Tampa or the Lang side. Yep. Sorry, what's that? It's, we have, we have safety. What's your target time? How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good. It's Friday.
Oh, it is.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, it's Friday, except it's not off till 11:30.
We don't run it.
Do it? No, no.
Yeah, that's all I got today.
It's been a long night.
Yeah, I know.
I've been there.
Oh yeah.
Jody, how many people we have talking?
It makes the day fun, doesn't it? Like, I wonder what's gonna happen today. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter. It's not my choice. It is not my choice.
I just like to put the sun in their face. I wonder how much Coca-Cola company uses product placement. Where you want it up to that? Stop it. Stop it. Only if it brightens up their face from the inside.
We'll grab a planting quick.
Yeah, they said they were going to put our big drone up to get some new shots.
No, you're good.
Yep.
Is that close enough?
Drone.
Okay.
That's the only drone they let us play with. Well, our guys that do all the commercial stuff, they've got a drone. They went over and shot some really nice stuff in those cars. We're stuck at the
Is this yours? Is this yours?
And I mean that one.
This one? Hey Nelson, how are you today? Everybody can hear? Do you need a white balance?
I think the truck will give you the white.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 60.
But they took the drone out there. They shot some great stuff in those cars. I mean, down through the wind and stuff. I'm like, yeah, our big drone's really nice. For that.
I do that 4 times. It's real.
Y'all ready? As soon as he comes out, we'll get started. Sure.
Hello. Well, it's probably because I haven't focused on anybody yet. Because they're not up. All right. Thank you. Truck's really important.
Alright, so we're going to hear from Chuck Berry with EPA first, and then over to Jody Neumann for an update, and then we'll take Q&A. We've also got the councilman and Chief Mulvey with Forensic Fire.
Am I first?
You're first.
All right. Sorry, guys.
That's all right.
Clamp broke, so not in a huge rush. There we go. Read into the sun.
Good morning, everyone. Hear me? Name is Chuck Berry, B-E-R-R-Y. I'm a federal on-scene coordinator for the U.S. EPA's Emergency Response Branch, Region 4 out of Atlanta. This past Monday, on October 16th, we started deconstruction, dismantling operations at 6213 Applegate. We started with the garage in the back, which we finished up after about a day and a half, and we moved on to the house since. The pictures that were shared with you were of the garage. The garage is a little different construction. It doesn't quite hold together like the house does. We plan on sharing some more video and some pictures of the house itself. You'll see that the dismantling of the home started with the roof. It came off fairly cleanly. We took the walls down. We're currently in the process of removing the interior contents of the home, placing them through the crush box container, reacting off whatever chemicals are there, and then placing that into a roll-off for later disposal. The house debris itself is going out, and the chemicals are going out as two separate waste streams to try and make things a little easier on everybody. The air monitoring system we have set up so far has not shown any off-site impacts to our operations. We still feel like the plan and process is working exactly as we designed it. We'll continue to monitor it throughout the process and make sure that it continues to do that. Questions?
Throw it over to Jody and then we'll take
Okay, yeah, Jody.
Jody, J-O-D-Y, I'm an M-E-I-M-A-N. I'm the Executive Director for Louisville Metro Emergency Services and Emergency Management. So not much more to add than what Chuck had. We're still operating within a unified command, meeting daily. Obviously, we've got fire EMS on scene. Our command post located here at the firehouse, and logistically supporting the EPA and all their contractors with anything that they need. Chuck mentioned air monitoring throughout the community, air monitoring where the waste is going. So, it's going very well. Obviously, it's slow, and we still continue to ask for patience from the community. We've been visiting neighbors as we see them out, just letting them know we've still got our community notification process in place. We're communicating with the immediate neighbors in the area, and we've got our notification system in case something was to happen for an evacuation or shelter in place. That's just one click of a button, and that will be implemented. So I think that's it. Any questions?
How does this timeline compare to kind of what you were looking at heading into it? For either one of you.
Currently, our timeline is proceeding exactly as we planned it. We're still looking at roughly 10 days to take down the building. So I guess we're about in day 5, I guess. So probably 5 to 7 more days of this. Weather dependent. As you notice, we have some fairly strong winds today. We may have to stop operations or at least container crushing operations when the wind kicks up. So, but we're on track, hopefully, for concluding by the end of the month.
Is there any mystery still about kind of what's inside and how much care do you have to give to the idea of something being in there you're not expecting?
Our plans all along have included running into things that we don't expect. And our process is set up so that we can handle things we don't expect in very small doses and in very small quantities at any one time. As we've always talked about, this is a slow process by design. If you want to demo a house, you can do it in a matter of hours. We're taking weeks, and that's on purpose and for reason.
And have you found anything that's that you didn't expect to?
We've found a lot of things that I would say surprise us that are in a residential home. A lot of compressed gas cylinders, very small compressed gas cylinders. But we have in our reaction box had a few reactions go off. We had a fire in it the other day. Our contingency plans in those situations have worked exactly as they were designed. Fire was immediately snuffed out. We did a stand down, assessed the situation, and decided to continue mixing operations just at a slower rate. So as we go through the building and continue to process the chemicals, we are probably going to find things that react off. Again, part of the plan and part of the process.
Can you explain what a reaction box is and what kind of reactions it protects against and what kind you've experienced?
It's a very thick steel roll-off container that we've got water dispersal system and hooked up to a hose. So if we do have to drench anything, we can do it. It's buried in the ground about 4 feet, so only about that much of it is above ground. And there's an excavator at one end of it that is just crushing the containers as they move through the system. We put one load of containers and stuff out of the house and debris in. We crush it, make sure all the containers are opened, and if anything reacts off, we add a little bit of soil to it, amend it, wait till whatever happens. Most of our reactions we suspect are going to be acid base, which are sometimes energetic but not super dangerous. But we're looking at our air monitoring data continuously to make sure that it doesn't pose unnecessary risk to our site workers and to the surrounding community.
Have you encountered any complications
No, actually, everything is going as well as we planned, and I'm a little surprised and pleased. But we're always on our toes to try and monitor what we're doing constantly. Again, we're going about it very slowly on purpose, so that if anything does happen, we can do a stand down, assess the situation, and get back to making sure that it works properly after that.
You mentioned the garage and some of the other areas of the home. What's your next step, as in even tomorrow or the next few days, physically, that neighbors would maybe see and have questions about?
So, as I mentioned, the roof is off, the rafters on the back side of the house is off, and the rear wall has been dropped down. And I think I have a little bit of video that we plan on sharing with everybody after that. But we're now doing the process of removing the material from inside each room, leaving the interior walls standing. Just that process. Again, the house itself doesn't appear to be impacted very much, and so that's going off out separately. We aren't going to process it and crush it. It's, the house had Bedford stone all around it. That's not impacted. It's just a lot of weight. But we're going to continue to process all that. Hopefully the neighbors won't notice anything different going on. We have that wall built around them specifically to protect their homes. It does offer a little bit of lack of view, but it does offer a good protection from them from any blast that may happen.
Can you repeat when you plan to finish the demolition process?
We hope to have the demolition completed by the end of the month. We still will have some site work to do after that, restoration, filling in the hole, fixing up 6211's property as well. We've pretty much taken it over as well, so we'll need to restore that property. So it'll probably be a couple weeks after that.
Any other questions?
We're only about halfway through, or maybe not quite halfway through this, but I guess have you reached some level of vindication about the decision not to go with the original plan of burning it down?
I wouldn't use the word vindication. That's probably not right. EPA just feels like this was a better result for the local community and better result for the immediate neighbors, despite the fact that it's slower. Probably in the long run costs a little more. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth the time taken and the resources brought to bear. It seems to be still difficult to actually have gone into the home. When you look at it without the walls, you can really get a good grasp of exactly what's inside, or at least the volume of material inside. So I still think this is a alternative way that provides a little better outcome for the local residents.
All right, thanks everyone.
I just have one question for Jody. Can you just walk me through the resources that you've had to allot to this and kind of how it affects your day-to-day or even your long-term functions?
So we've got all of our resources here. Obviously, local fire department, EMS. They've got to backfill their resources, so they're working on overtime. They've got equipment that's tied up out here. And like I said, we're still working within that unified command. So, a couple of weeks ago when we started the process, we merged our unified commands with the EPA. So we're all working side by side with it. Like I said, we meet every day. We're still conducting our planning meetings. This is our day. This is where we spend our day at now instead of our office that's downtown. But we still got to be ready to respond anywhere else throughout the community. So we've got that contingency in place as well.
Any important messages for the citizens of the community in the nearby area?
Just be patient. Continue to be patient. Continue to monitor any messaging that we send out. Look at the fact sheet just in case there's any changes that are made throughout the process. So, like I said, but the biggest thing is patience.
Do you expect any changes to happen?
No, we don't anticipate anything. Obviously, we've got contingencies in place in case something happens, and we'll deal with that as it comes.
Do you expect to restore a new property on that land that you guys are filling the hole in?
Yeah, part of our work plan is to restore the property. Having a huge basement hole there is a safety issue. We can't leave it there. So we'll definitely fill that in and put some grass on it and maintain erosion. As far as 6211 next door, she's been very graceful in working with us and owe her a lot of thanks. And we plan to make her property look as good as we can when we leave here.
Thank you all very much.